What's up YouTube? I'm Alex Carpenter, and today I'm going to show you 4 different methods for centering an element within its parent container using CSS. So to start, we have our index.html page here. We're going to add a div that has a class of parent, and then inside of that we're going to have a div with a class of child, and inside of that we're just going to throw a paragraph tag with some lorem ipsum for the sake of the demo. So we can see that show up here in our browser. Next we can jump over into our style sheet. I just have some default boilerplate styles to get us started. Next, what we'll want to do is start targeting our parent element. We'll want to span that 100% width and also do a min height of 100% of the viewport. I'll just show you just so you can see that's just showing our parent container. So obviously we'll want this text to be dead in the center here, vertically and horizontally. So what we can do is get rid of that line background. Next we can start targeting our child element. We're going to add a max width of 600 pixels to this as well. Alright. So for our first method, we're going to use absolute position. So what we can do here is do position absolute. We'll do a top of 50%, left of 50%, and then lastly we need to transform and translate that back 50% negative for 50%. So when we reload this browser, we can see that centered within our viewport here. And we can see when we stretch wider and taller and shorter, we can see that's always going to be centered within our parent container. So this works great. Just know that you are absolutely positioning it. So if any elements show up within the parent container, you might have some overlapping that occurs. Next up, one of the most common ways that I typically center elements within their parent is using display flex, and then adding align items center and justify content center as well. So now we got what we were just at before, but using Flexbox this time. This is probably the most common, like I mentioned, most common way that I go about centering elements within their parent container. So this works really well. But what we can also do using pretty similar to this is getting rid of these 2 items and just having display flex on the parent, and then on that child element you can do a margin of auto, and that'll also center it just as we were before. So those are 3 methods. Lastly, we can go back and get rid of those, resave this, get us back to the top left. One of the most modern ways now is using grid. So what we can do is do grid, display grid, and we can use a shorthand when using grid and do place items center. We can see that centers that into our browser as well. And place items, VS Code will share here with us. Place items is the shorthand property for align items and justify items. Just be aware of the browser compatibility with that, but that works well for centering elements as well. So that's 4 quick ways, 4 different ways to go about centering elements within their parent container using CSS. So thanks for watching.